What's going on, Blossom's back, and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. I hope you enjoyed what was the 5 million mega pack opening with 4 legendaries in 15 minutes. I've never seen anything quite like it, and I don't think I'll ever see anything quite like it ever again. That being said, though, we are still in Michael Jackson's garage, because today we're going to be interviewing MJ over here, because he has done something with his garage which has genuinely gained my respect and has blown my mind. But as you can see, here are the 4 legendaries sitting pretty that we pulled 4 days ago. 911 GT2, the only one at 1 star, because he is a Porsche collector. But here's the thing that I want to talk about. I'm going to be interviewing MJ today about how he plays clubs, because honestly, I know I talk a lot about clubs, I talk about my strategies, I talk about how I play the game, but ultimately at the end of the day, I have a garage with over 1,000 cars. I have a million maxed out ultra rares and commons and super rares and rares made for clubs. So my garage is very specific and driven towards clubs, which many of your garages, you guys watching right now, may not have. So that's why today I want to make this video with MJ over here, because MJ, he's only played Top Drives for 7 months. I've played for 3 years. He's only played for 7 months, and he managed to make 5 million from clubs in 1.5 months. That is the same rate that I make 5 million from clubs, and I've played more than 2 years more than he does, and I have a garage 10 times bigger than he does. And now I don't want to make it seem like I'm boasting like my garage is bigger. In fact, we should be respecting this guy, because he's making cash at the same rate I'm making, but with a lot less to his disposal. So really, MJ, welcome to the channel once again. How are you doing today?
Hello, and thank you again for inviting me. Thank you again for the opening. I hope everybody enjoyed all the legendaries.
Oh yeah, I think some people were like, they loved it too much that they're a little jealous now, which makes sense, because that's crazy.
I wanted to mention that I opened 4 legendaries out of packs before the opening, and I get 4 legendaries out of the opening. So
yeah, so it just went up by 50% basically.
Yeah.
Wait, is it 50%? No, it went up by 100% because.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's actually insane. So yes, what I said at the start was correct, right? You made 5 million in 1.5 months from clubs.
Yes.
And this is also before the 5 million pack opening, so take into account this was when you had 6 legendaries, 26 epics, and how many ultra rares did you have at the time? 40 maybe?
So I had like 50-ish ultra rares.
Okay.
And I had like 35 max.
35
check
max.
Now, yeah, after the opening, it's like 68 ultra rares and
48 max. I checked it out. Yeah, I think that's absolutely insane, because he had 35 max ultras and he made the same amount of cash when I have 230 max ultras. It shows that really, the cars isn't really the main factor, and it's how you play. And that's why I really want to interview you today, to see what your tips, strategies, and just anything that you want to tell my audience are going to be. So if you're okay, we can start with the questions.
Sure.
All right, so the first one, most important, is what motivates you to play clubs?
Well, out of all the tutorials and everything I see through your channel, I see that the best way to earn cash in the game is to playing clubs. And at some point when I was playing the game, I realized that I really need cash, because I had some good cars, but I wanted to upgrade them and I didn't have money for it. So I just went for the club, and that was the point that I also activated that booster as well.
And just want to say that you are basically a free-to-play, right? You've spent less than 50 euros in total.
Yes.
Yeah, and mostly when
yes.
you buy the booster for clubs, it's usually from the gold that you've made from the season ending, the season rewards, isn't that right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so for you guys watching, basically you can get the booster every week. as long as you play at a decent level, and you can be free to play and get the booster every week and get loads amount, just an insane amount of cash. So that's the first thing. That's awesome. Some of my videos were also an inspiration for you. So the second one is, what are your favorite club requirements and track sets? What makes you happy? What when you see it, what is the cash cow for you? For me, it's like anything American, times 5 American Dream, times 5 USA, and especially times 5 Dodge. But how about you?
Right now, in the first days, the best thing for me was the lower RQ requirements. But right now, the best thing for me is the ones that needs off-road cars, because that one is a heaven for me. I have very good cars in off-road.
Let's have a look at that, actually. I mean, obviously, you've one of the best ones with the Peugeot 206 now, so that's going to be leading the charge for you. But yeah, here's another tip for you guys watching. If you want to play clubs, if you want to, start specializing your garage, obviously you don't need to have it at the level of mine. Just the level of MJ's or even somewhere below that is going to be fine. Road less taken is one of the most common club requirements in clubs. You see that thing almost every day, so focus on your all-surface and your off-road. Now, for the most part, we are talking about off-road, right? Not even all-surface, it's just mostly off-road.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know I did all-surface in here as well, but so what are some of your favorite requirements now? Because obviously it's your favorite track set is roadless taken off-road, but how about the requirements? What do you like to see? Ultra or a certain brand, certain country?
Yeah, so from the requirements, I mostly focus for the requirement which is less than 300, because my garage is young. I cannot compete with people with more than with a lot of epics and legendaries. So if the requirement is less than 300, it means that I can fairly use my ultra rares, super rares, and rares and get a position in top 10 easily. And so I prefer to, whatever the requirement is, focus mostly on the ones that are 300. The optimal is below 250, which means that there is no ultra rare, not all ultra rare hands. So even with a single good ultra rare, you can be in top 10.
See, that's one of the beauties about clubs. Is like if you are a player that complains, oh, clubs you only win money if you're pay to win and you have all these prize cars. Sure, all the prize cars helps, but you can get by earning a lot of cash without all the prize cars. Just like he said, just go for the lower RQ events, some of the niche ones, the off-road ones, where when it comes to super rares, it's basically a free for all, isn't it? It's fair game. Everybody can have a chance to get the cars available, basically. So no prize cars, nothing like that, right?
Yeah, I also can I add to this. My garage is also not like the ideal perfect one. If you see, even I have some mistakes with the wrong upgrade or like missing cars. So it's not like I have the chance to have like everything. Yeah, you can see that 2, 3, 3, 4 that every time loses.
Yeah, I mean, everyone makes mistakes super early in the game. How old is this car as well? It's 191 days, and you've only been playing for a little over 200, so that makes sense. Yeah. And you've still used it a lot. It has a pretty decent win ratio.
Yeah, but if you compare it to the others, you can see.
77. Yep, that 1% is massive, man.
Okay.
77. Look at that. No, I know exactly what you mean, though. I know exactly what you mean. 323 is the way to go. Please don't 233 your Ford Escort rally spec. But anyway, moving on to the next question is, how much do you play a day of clubs?
So it's not limited to the amount of hours. It's actually limited to the amount of cash. So my promise to myself is to earn at least 100k a day and then stop playing. Sometimes if the event requirements are good, I can make it in an hour. Sometimes if the requirements is too bad for me, for example the RQ limit is too high or I don't have the car for the event, it takes like between 1 hour to 2 hours.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, personally for me, I also use the same guidelines. Like, I know for my garage, for what it has, it's capable to push the realm of 400, 500k in a day. In fact, I've done 600k in a day as well. But that being said, it takes so much time, and clubs can be boring if you just keep doing it. So 100k a day is a good benchmark. Personally, I do that as well. I have a 100K minimum, which is actually super easy to make. You don't need to be staring at your screen for hours on end. You could honestly just come on, come out, you know, every so often throughout the day. You know, 7,500 here, 7,500 there. It goes a long way. So 100K a day, I think it's a great guideline for everybody that wants to play clubs, especially if you buy the boost. 100K a day is definitely the way to go. I also got a ping on BlueStacks, which probably means that we know what our next prize car is now. But let me check real quick actually. But while we check what the next prize car is live, let's move on to the next question, unless you wanted to say anything else.
Yeah, I just wanted to say 100K if you have the booster means 12 times top 10. That's all.
12 times
So
club
you
events?
need 12 times being top 10 in an event in clubs.
Oh
So that
yeah, to get
makes-
100K, right?
Yeah, you get 100K, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's not even that much. 12 events, especially if you get top 10 silver participation. It's only 5 races, so you know that's what, 60 races or something.
Yeah, around that, yeah.
Yeah, so that's like basically, you know, for people that are spending 15 minutes trying to get that MVP and the 30 races when they race against bots. Like honestly, racing against bots, getting those 30 races, getting an MVP, it's, you know, I know you can get like 12K with the booster, and a lot of people like to do it because it's easy, no competition. But in my opinion, I don't think that's the most efficient way, because it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to get that. And then sometimes you'd be competing with other people that want it too. So instead of getting 30 races, you end up getting 40 races, 50 races, 60 races. It's a waste of time in my opinion at the end. But yeah, just quick breaking news. Next prize car is the Pikes Peak XL7. I don't even know what car that is. Honestly, do you?
No idea. I haven't never heard of it.
Neither have I. Pikes Peak.
What is Pike?
Wait, is it this?
Yes.
Oh my god, this is massive. Guys, you know what this means, right? This car's already been given out twice. This means that Hutch is now beginning to give out cars 3 times. Oh no, my 918! Oh god. Okay, so there you go. If that's good news for those that probably want a prize car that's already been given out twice. You're gonna get a third chance, because that's the third time the XL7 is coming out. God damn. Okay. Anyway, moving on to the 4th question. What are the cars, and I guess you kind of answered this already, but what are the cars that you use the most? Probably the off-roads, right?
Yeah, probably the off-road. The best friend for the off-road people is the Datsun Super Rare. It's really easy to get and really easy to max. And it beats many of the ultra rares, even if they are not maxed. Well, and also it wins against all the front-wheel drive ultra rare off-road as well. So this is like the heaven of off-road cars.
That's true. And another great thing about off-road cars that you guys should know is that there's always, it's really easy to get a car that is the best in everything, and it's very easy to find it because first of all, off-road is almost every day in clubs, and like you said, Datsun's one of the best. But you know, the Fiat's also really good in a sense that if it's off-road, like the Road Less Taken and saloon cars, this is the only one you can use. There's no legendary, no epic, no ultra that has off-road tires. This is the only one. So it's not even a question of if you have it max. It's a question of how many you have max. I would recommend for this one at least 3. And then like some others would be like the front-wheel drive off-road events if it's low RQ and you can't use the Opel Adams. Cars like the Stilo Group N. Actually, the Stilo Group N isn't that great because when you think about it, the Opel Adam, 51, it's like it's a 2 RQ difference. We could probably make the deficit, but like, you know, in really niche circumstances, even the Stilo might have a place to shine, or the Cento rally spec. But moving on to the last and final question here, and I think this is the hardest one that most people need to like kind of find that drive in themselves. But what motivates you? What motivates your discipline to save? Because everybody is like, oh, the moment I see 32K in my garage, in my bank account, I want to go open a ceramic pack. So for you, what was your biggest motivation to save?
So the main reason was the same thing that you said for why you saved 10 million. I do not like to be poor in a game, so I want to have some saved money.
Yeah.
If you want to make something big in an instance, you can do it. So I like that attitude. The second thing that motivated me a lot for that 5 million was to send you a message a day to open the 5 million pack.
Oh, Okay, there you go. Well, luckily that worked out, and I think it really paid off. I think it couldn't have paid off any better, to be honest. So I'm happy.
Yeah, sure.
I'm
Yeah,
really
sure.
happy. But yeah, that's a really good answer. I mean, for me, it's the same. I just don't like being poor in a video game. I'm already poor in real life, so it's like if I have a chance not to be poor in a video game, I'm gonna take it. And also the other reason is because ceramic packs suck most of the time. Unless you're on MJ's account, most of the time ceramic packs suck. So, with that knowledge, I always make preemptive openings in my head. I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna get a super rare anyway. What's the point? You spent like 10 minutes trying to get this 32K only for it to go into like some Suzuki super rare. Like nobody cares about that. So that's another thing. I know that's the thing, right? A lot of players in top drives, a common mistake that they make is when they open a carbon fiber or they open a ceramic pack, they're always expecting an ultra. They're always expecting an epic. They're always expecting a legendary. And so when they don't get it, they're just really disappointed. For me, it's the opposite. When I open a ceramic, I expect a super rare. So if I get anything above, I get hella excited. That's why sometimes when I get an ultra, I'm like, whoa, let's go. Because I'm genuinely excited. Because when I open every ceramic pack, I expect the worst. And that's honestly how I think people should base their mindset on when they open ceramic packs. If not, they're just going to be, disappointed. But with that said, before we end the video with the special 5-time ceramic pack, if you still want me to open one, you have some tips and tricks. Isn't that right that you want to share with everybody?
Yes, if possible.
All right, go ahead, man. Yeah, you can take the stage.
Yeah. So I have some hints to play pops, but they are mostly for people that are in early stages of their garage or mid stage of their garage, like me, for like 6 or 7 months. So, but if the first and foremost, and the most important note to follow is to follow the blossom choices for your primary targets. So if you want to max out cars, make sure that they are in blossom choices, because to be honest, they are really the best cars you can get for the events. The second thing is, if you are early, start from improving your uncommon and rare, and then improve after those, go improve your commons, then move to essential super rares, and then when you have all these, start buying ceramics for ultra rare. The next note I wanted to say is that if you have small garage, it is better to start from the events that have RQ limit of 150 to 250, because this means all super rare or below, which means you have a good chance to have enough cars for that, even competing the big players. Like always, join a match which is about to be finished, because it helps you to win better. I have a small trick that actually helps me a lot. Your focus is to get to top 10 most of the time.
Yep.
So playing 5 times in an event, most of the time won't get you to top 10. However, if you play 7 races, in 90% of the times you get in top 10, because many people just leave the club with 5 races. If you play only 2 more, you go to top 10. You can try it and you will see it yourself.
That's true.
So the next thing is about, as Blossom also mentioned, you focus on niche events, specifically on off-road events, which are like Road Less Taken, Desert Sands, California Storm, Grand Canyon, and so on. You might ask where to find the off-road cars. Actually, there is a chance for an off-road pack a month. So in daily events, every month it comes a day that the requirements is 4-wheel drive. But if you look at the pack suggested by the game, it gives you off-road cars, not 4-wheel drive cars. So most of the off-road cars you see that Blossom is showing to you are the result of opening that pack. So it's actually a very good pack, comes every month, and I spent all my cash possible to open them actually.
That's actually a really good tip. I did not know that one.
Yeah, so the pack is off-road pack. It's not four-wheel drive pack. So you will get only off-road cars. So if you look at my off-road in ultra rare and epic section, all of them are from that pack. I got a Raptor, I got that GMC. So if you make it my car instead of all car, so you see, or both Nissans, the Opel Corsa and the Opel and the one of the GMCs and one of the Ford, all comes from that pack.
That's incredible. So this is once a month basically, right? In the four-wheel drive, there's
Yeah.
a ceramic pack that you can get with cash, and it's an off-road pack.
Yes, yes. If you can open it with cash, with 4 to 2K, and it gives you off-road cars.
That is insane. I did not know that. That is actually amazing. So thank you for that knowledge, actually. I mean, when you
Yeah,
think about it, if it's just off-road cars, that's a pretty nice pack, right?
Yeah, I will notify you the day it comes again. It's going to be around 2 weeks from now.
Oh, please. I mean, that's a good pack.
It's actually a really good pack.
That's a really good pack. It's like you don't really get any fuse material from this. I guess the only fuse material would be this, but it's not even a bad car. It's just like it's fuse material in a sense because it's just impossible to max out. But like everything else, like I have this max, I have this max. Oh, you can't get that anyway. But I have this max. I need a second one of these actually because my first one is drag spec, and I need a second one. That's cool, man. That was a fact that I did not know at all. So thank you for that. Actually, wow. But yeah, is there anything else that you wanted to say?
Yeah, so I'm sorry if it gets too long. There
No
are just some small ones. Yeah, apart from off-road, the other tag that can help you is front-wheel drive cars. Because these cars are not mostly epics or ultra rares, they are mostly ultra rares and super rares. So if you can collect them, you can win a lot of events easily. I give you a specific shout out. If you make it front wheel drive standard tires, which means the rainy events, they are all super rare. So if you collect a standard four wheel drive, front wheel drive, specifically ELR,
Yeah.
that makes you top 10 easily, very very easily. So you see, the best card is Honda Accord and nothing more. No legendary, no epic, no ultra rare, only super rare.
And personally, even in this requirement, there are only 3 cars that you want. You want this for the drag, 996 is 4.90 to 60. You want this for the medium, and then you want this for everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Exactly.
and this one is indeed Blossom Choice as well. So, there you go.
And there's another niche target, and that is four-wheel drive standard tires. Well, there is no explanation to say they are all best good cars, all of them.
What am I looking for? 4-wheel drive standard tires. There we go. Here's the stats: 1 legendary, 14 epics, 10 ultra rares.
Yeah, if you get any of them, doesn't matter which one, it helps you a lot in the driving. And of course, there are 2 in Blossom Choice, I believe.
Yeah, the first one is a DS numero 9, and what was the second one?
The CTS Coupe?
I think it was a CTS Coupe. That's right.
Yeah.
They're all really good cars though, and I do have the Super Legacy and the Super Rares as well.
Yeah, so in the end,
And others.
by only possessing special super rares, rares and uncommons, you will guarantee like top 10 in 80% of the events. It's so easy. It's not that hard. Not only in total, not just for four-wheel drive standard, but in total, if you just focus on Blossom Choices for super rares and below, you will guarantee top 10 for 80% of the events, no doubt. But that's all my notes.
Sweet. Well, first of all, thanks for endorsing the Blossom Choices. They are really well thought out. Obviously, those were the cars that I've came into a conclusion with after playing hours and hours and hours of clubs. The only two things that I would say about Blossom Choices that may not be super accurate. The first one is in commons. I need to add the Rover 200 because that thing is a sleeper and it's a lot better than I thought it was. So I probably need to yeet out one common and put in the Rover 200. And then the second thing is every car I put in there is super heavily unbiased. It's best of the best. The only one that is only slightly biased is the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera, but I think I've mentioned that on my website as well. But everything else definitely is something to go by, especially in the ultra rares, the super rares. In fact, making Blossom Choice, the ultra rares was the hardest because it was 16 per rarity, and I could easily get 16 for each rarity. But when it came to like ultra rares, I needed to make like a tournament bracket to eliminate like 10 cars because I came down to like 30 or like 26, and I was just like, oh, this is not gonna fit. Maybe I should make a second section for ultra rares because there are so many key ultra rares to get because there's just so many niches when it comes to that. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for the tips and tricks, man. We want to end the video with ×5, is that right?
Sure.
All right, let's go. You think we're gonna get legendary number 5?
I think we don't get legendary for like months now.
hey, don't say that. Don't say that. We never know. This might be legendary right now. So, all right, you ready?
Sure.
All right, sweet. But yeah, no, that was really awesome. Once again, guys, this is MJ has only been playing for 7 months. He's basically free to play. The only time you put in cash was for that Vulcan, wasn't it? For the Vulcan event.
Not even there, because I was saving for Black Friday and unfortunately I had to use my savings.
Right. So yeah, for the most part, he's free to play. His garage is a lot smaller than mine, but he's making cash at the same rate that I am. So if you think that, oh, Blossom makes so much cash because of his garage, don't feel, I guess, unmotivated or demotivated by me. Take inspiration from MJ, right? He's a pretty new player with a pretty small garage, but it's a very good garage. I'll be giving him a garage review as well after this, but I'm just really happy. But anyway, this ×5, 45, already looking pretty good. 3 more to go, yeah. 46, let's see. Oh wait, no, now it's 3 more to go, I think. Yeah, there we go, 47, 2 more. Come on, 48, 1 more. This is actually a good one. I'm pretty sure you had this already, but yeah. Let's see. Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, at least the last 2 are good. The Saisento being niche and the Saturn being just a good car in general. But yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I couldn't get you legendary number 5. that would have been insane. But with that said, MJ, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with my viewers.
Thank you so much for the time you gave to me.
No worries, man. I respect, your grind a lot. I respect what you're doing a lot. It's really nice to see just the motivation that you have to play. It's amazing, really. And I feel like a lot of my viewers need to see this as well. But with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, if you like what you see, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But with that said, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you all next time. I'm going to wash your hands, stay safe, Blossom out.